I'll get you for that, Amanda.
There were some distinct advantages.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody, and welcome. It's great to see everybody in person. We've got quite a crowd. We got something that we want to vote on, so I don't know if we have a quorum or not, but we're going to test to see if we do in just a little bit. But at this point, I would like to recognize Sushil for being our online greeter. She's a community advocate, a Paul Harris Fellow, several times over, I believe, a former board officer, and a 13-year Rotarian. So at this time, I'd like to call Miss Stacy Campbell Dominic to come to the podium. She's going to do the invocation, Pledge of Allegiance, and recite the four-way test. Stacy.
Okay, so let me make sure I heard it right. The Pledge of Allegiance first. Okay. Oh, the invocation. I want to do this in the right order. I'm going to do the invocation and then the pledge and then the four-way test. Okay. That was a four-way test.
It's right there.
Okay, thank you. All right. So if you would bow your heads, most gracious and eternal Father, we come to you today thanking you for blessing us with a wonderful day, with a thriving life, with protection from COVID. We thank you for the laughter and joy that we hear and see when we convene together as your people. We lift up Rotary to you and we ask that you to continue to lead us and guide us and protect us, protect our loved ones and all those around us. We pray for our country. We pray for all of those in your creation. Thank you so much for all that you do and that you continue to do in our lives. Bless our every step. In your name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.
All right. Stacy is the CEO of Career Source Polk. She's on our board of directors, and she is a 3-year Rotarian. Thank you, Stacy. Amanda, at this point, let's do the online introductions, please.
Okay, we have Al Lewis, who I believe is a returning guest of Stacy Campbell Dominic. And we also have our friend and visiting Rotarian, Doug McCall.
Right. Any other guests online? Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Jim Russell, you do the traveling roadshow, please. Yeah.
Do we have a list or? Okay. We have visiting Rotarians and guests. I'll start back here. I don't think that, hello. Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Good afternoon. I have with me Jeff Baker from Inspect RV. He is a former Rotarian and is interested in becoming a new Rotarian.
I have with me today Andrew Troller with Good Intense Marketing.
Excuse me. My guest today is Dr. John Fullerton, but I understand that he has actually officially been voted on as a member. So buy your own lunch.
Anyone else? Well, we welcome all of y'all and please come back.
Melody in Zoom has Greg going in with me again today as a guest, and he's ready to submit his application as well.
Okay, hey, Greg. Greg. Okay, so, sorry, I can't walk. I can walk, but I shouldn't. Nate, why don't you come up and talk about the bylaws? We do not have a quorum at this point, though. Well, you just got to talk about it, so maybe we can get people to show up for the next one. Okay.
Okay, so 2 weeks ago, I stood up here and presented some bylaw changes to you guys, and it was sent out. I think Beth sent it out. But there are two changes that we're trying to make. One is for check writing, that we're asking it to be done through ACH and or credit card payments, and no longer needing two signatures unless the check is over, how much? $1 million. No, is it 2,500? And the second bylaw change that we're proposing is how we nominate our directors. Under the previous bylaws or the existing bylaws, any member that is eligible to be a member is put on a ballot and we vote on them. So we want to change that to have only the members that actually want to serve on the board be presented on the ballot. So we will try again next week if we can get a quorum. Oh. Sure, because I would love to put this to bed. We're short. Yeah, we could do that. All right.
While you're here, you want to do happy dollars while you're here?
Oh, sure. Happy dollars. Who's got a happy dollar?
We're gonna do happy dollars locally.
There we go.
I'm happy because John and I just had a big anniversary.
Congratulations.
This is just a financial apology. My phone went off during the last time we met here twice. So I do apologize to the group for my rudeness.
The donation because I didn't call in and register. Sorry.
Who else we got? Anybody else happy? There you go. What are you happy about, sir? No one wants to hear. What else you got? There you go.
Okay. I'm happy that we're having a district conference this weekend. And technically, although in person, the Lakeland Club is the host club for this. So I hope to see you all signed up.
Thank you.
I'd like to point out that Bob Eckenroth and I went to college 20 miles apart about the same time. And a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, his college beat mine in football. This year, Westminster beat Grove City and then went on to win the championship of the President's Conference of the NCAA Division III. So,
Well, I'm just happy. On May 2nd, I celebrated my 15th year in the Lakeland Rotary Club.
There we go. Jason.
I was happy 3 weeks ago. And I'm only saying that I was online and I made a commitment and I haven't been here, so I brought my money. Thank you.
Anybody else? There we go.
I'm happy to announce that two of our Rotary clubs, Lakeland North and Lakeland Christina, are merging effective June 1st. And they'll be called the Lakeland Sunrise Club, I'm told, and meeting on Thursday mornings, and I don't know where. I'm happy because Lakeland North in particular has strong connections to this club through the Asberries, and so I wish them the best. They've both been struggling, and I'm glad to see that they'll survive now as the Lakeland Sunrise Club.
Anybody else?
Joe. Thank you, Nate. Sorry about your big moment for the vote. Amanda, do we have any happy dollars online, please?
I don't hear anybody online happy?
I would like to do $30 for 30 years with my beautiful wife as of this past Saturday.
We're glad she's sticking with you.
God bless me.
Any other happy dollars online? Unmute yourself and speak up, please. Okay, hearing nothing, we're going to move into the announcements. This is the Mark and Irma hour. If you guys would like to come up, Mark. DG Mark is with us in the house. So I was going to give him. Oh, really? I thought I was the president. It's like I'm not even standing here. I'm kidding. Go ahead. All right. What is it with you two lovebirds?
Okay, well, this is great. So I did mention a minute ago about the district conference. So let me give you a kind of a heads up of what's happening. We're having President Holger Kanak, International President, speak. We're going to have a memorial service on Saturday. We have an RI director speaking Friday night. There's entertainment. You will not go to sleep on this Zoom. Come and join us. We still have the membership contest going for Paul Harris points, and the international convention, which is online, that does charge. The district is free, and you don't have to buy a meal. You don't have to, pay a babysitter. You don't have to travel. And but the international convention, you can go online and pay a small fee and sign up for 6 days of great Rotary. Irma, to you.
My turn. Hi, everybody. So I want to bring you up to date on Rotary Cares a Ton Challenge. So far, our district, anybody want to guess how many tons we've collected for district-wide? 41. Yeah. So that's like 82,612 pounds. That was as of yesterday. It could be more by now. And the goal is 50 tons by the end of the month. So I think the district will accomplish that. In first place right now is Fishhawk Riverview, and then followed by Tampa. We are in 11th place. So we've only got 4,845 pounds. So if anybody has wanting to donate any of their stuff, just give me your name and the weight and we'll add you to the list. And it can be a guesstimate. So on the STARS project, you're all invited to join the STARS team on the 22nd of May. That's a Saturday at 8:30 in the morning at the Carl G. Shoei Boys and Girls Club trailer. It's a mouthful. It's behind the Crystal Lake Elementary School. If you need an address for your GPS, it is 920 Lowry Avenue. So we need extra hands to help us. There's a wish list of things to do, and including weeding and painting and power washing and all kinds of good stuff. And then, as Mark mentioned, the district conference is this weekend, Friday night and Saturday morning. Each session probably be about a couple of hours. He didn't mention all the speakers. We're going to hear from one of our Rotaractors who's really terrific, and another DG from Florida and a PDG from North Carolina. And they all have really inspiring and really good messages, and I think you'll enjoy it. We are going to do some trivia. We're going to have some entertainment. So join us. You have to sign up on DACTB. There's a link. Yeah. That's it. I'm done. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mark and Irma. Todd, do you want to talk about the annual dinner?
Good afternoon. So June 22nd, Lone Palm for our anniversary dinner. We are not going to be sending out formal invitations based on talking with Joel and Nate. And so be checking your email. We're looking forward to having a great dinner that night. Again, June 22nd at Lone Palm. Thank you.
Thank you, Todd. Jack Lohman, you are up. Don't make it trivial. All right.
Okay, everybody, we're going to talk about the trivia night coming up. That will be 2 weeks from Thursday, May 27th, right here at the Heights. Get your teams together. Teams are allowed to be up to 8 people. If you want to bring guests, you can, of course. We'll have some finger food for everybody, and then everybody's on their own for their bar tab. But should be fun. I will be your quiz master, so come ready. It's going to get interesting. It's going to be fun. And someone will win a completely worthless plastic trophy.
We're up to 32. Okay, any other announcements? Am I missing? I feel like I'm missing somebody. Okay, so last announcement, and we'll get started with our program. There's a highly coveted board meeting this evening. Right? Look at everybody on the edge of their seats ready to jump at the opportunity. If you would like to come be part of our board meeting, it's at the Lakeland Electric Building downtown in Conference Room 1A. Everyone is welcome, of course. If you do show up, we're going to test your temperature, though, because you're probably not feeling well. Okay, no other announcements. Fantastic. Let's head into the program. Sarah, you can start the I don't walk up here. Sarah Powers is a writer, speaker, wife, mother to 4 children. From her time working in nonprofit leadership, Powers has 18 years of experience in event and volunteer management, youth mentoring, curriculum development, and teaching in large and small group settings on topics involving self-worth and purpose. She founded Top Buttons in 2012 with a passion to encourage young women to know their value in Christ and to present it to the world without compromise. Please give us a warm Rotary welcome for Miss Sarah Powers.
Well, it is an honor to be with you in person and on Zoom today. I love seeing people gather together. I have missed this so much. I'm such a social person, and last year was like traumatizing for me and my entire social family. With all 4 of my kids, I tell you, it is crazy town being stuck at home and trying to do school and trying to keep business afloat. I know that you all understand whether or not you have 4 kids. I know that we were all in very unique and difficult situations last year. I wore my Lakeland dress today. I am a Polk County girl. Thank you. Born and raised, and I always thought I would travel and live abroad. I never thought I would be back here. I did get to live in Chicago and Europe, and got to do a lot of ministry and social work around the world, which was so much fun. And I have so many unique experiences that had helped mold me into the person that I am today. But being raised in Polk County was really fun. My grandfather owned and operated a water ski school, D Ski Center. He's been deceased for some time now, but my Uncle Frankie is still 3 events skiing, breaking bones and getting surgeries and setting records. But it was a great time, and I did think I was going to live somewhere else, but now that I'm here, I just love it. I love what has changed and what has grown and what has stayed the same, even those character and integrity principles and family focus and emphasis here in this community. It makes it wonderful to raise a family and own a business, and I'm just super thankful to be here. The community has been so receptive of Top Buttons and the mission to help at-risk young women. We partner with other amazing organizations. So currently, Top Buttons is a 501c3 nonprofit. In 2012, I remember going to my husband and saying, I don't want to take away from our family. I'm finishing my degree because I kind of did it backwards. It's not the smartest way, but I did get college done. But traveling and living abroad and then coming back home, getting married, having kids, then finishing school, it's kind of, but hey, it got done. And I tell my kids, if I can do it, you can do it, But I remember going to my husband saying, I have such a passion to work with young people. But having little people running around and trying to finish school, how am I going to do that? How can I add anything else to my plate? And so I really feel like it was a God-inspired idea to take fashion, which is kind of fun, and use it as a tool to connect and inspire and equip young people, kind of like Fellowship of Christian Athletes uses sports to inspire and to rally young people together and challenge them to reach for higher goals and bigger dreams and higher standards in their life. That's what Top Buttons uses fashion. It's kind of like it helps peel back the layers in their life because it's so much fun and they enjoy it. And we're able to talk about really good principles in their life, like how to present themselves on the job and in life. So they're not limiting their opportunities and they're not sending the wrong messages. But then we're also able to, with fashion, use that as a tool to really challenge them to love themselves and to seek the right kind of healthy attention. So when Top Buttons began in 2012, I was just going to churches and youth groups and Pace Center for Girls and anywhere they would have me and doing like fashion presentations, talking about self-worth and identity, talking about my own story and challenges that I overcame. I mean, it doesn't matter what your economic background is, and girl or boy, but specifically with the young women, when they're in middle school and high school, they're going through so many hormonal changes and they're really trying to find themselves, and their peers are such a huge influence on their life. And our culture, we know this, teaches young people that in order to get attention, they've got to be inappropriate, disrespectful, and have that shock value. So it's reinforcing these negative things in young people, and they're looking to their celebrity role models to have an understanding of what they needed to do to get ahead and to get attention. And we certainly aren't going to, take the Titanic and turn it around, with one person, with one voice, but together, partnering with other organizations, civic organizations, churches, teachers, parents, we can encourage one girl at a time to make the right changes and to have the right role models and to have the right standards in their life. They're going to help them and not limit them. And so as I'm sharing at these organizations, I'll never forget, I was at Pace Center for Girls, and one of the young women came up to me and she was, a little rough. They're all a little rough around the edges. And I love that. Give me the tough kids. I tell you, listen, I do better with teenagers than I do with adults. I just love these young people. I thought I would grow out of it as I got older. And people are like, just wait till they're your teenagers. And now I'm like, yes, I understand. Dear God, I have 2 teenagers and I want to pull my hair out, but I love them as well. But I always say, I have to say I love them. I don't know why I have to say that. We all know that I love them. Like, those balancing statements. But I remember this young girl came up to me and she said, Miss Powers, I would love to dress more modest if I had the right clothes to do that every time I change my weight. Because, they're putting on pounds and losing pounds, and they're malnourished or they're eating the wrong things and they're extremely overweight, and there's such a huge struggle, and they can't just go out like I can, go to Target and buy a new pair of jeans whenever they need it because it's too tight. And a lot of girls, this is something that, maybe the men will understand, but I know you ladies will understand. It is hard to find things that fit appropriately with the extended sizing needs that some women have. And so I remember when she told me that, it was a gut check. And it reminded me that we can't just tell young people what they need to do. And we can't just preach at them. And we want to model it, but we also need to give them the resources that they need so that they can do it and they can follow through. And good stuff, not the leftovers, not the stuff with holes or stains. And there are a lot of really great thrift stores and organizations that are providing quality clothing to young women that are used. And I think we're all on that same page that we want to give the best, but we don't always, even as a nonprofit, have the ability to give the best. And these teenagers, they want stuff that connects with them and their age as well, but not inappropriate. So how do we find that balance? So I started talking to some parents and some friends of mine. Amanda Walls is a fantastic friend of mine. Just adore her. And men and women, got behind what the message and what the intent of what we wanted to do with Top Buttons. It started supporting in different ways. And one of those ways, which has been probably the most substantial way of support that we have received since we started in 2012, is the clothing donation aspect. We have women that are bringing us such beautiful clothing items. They don't have to be a teenage brand. Let me tell you, when you bring them into a beautiful place that does not look or smell like it's a resale store, but it looks and feels like a boutique that is clean and it's fresh and it's fun. We can get them in brands that they would never normally wear. And we talk to them about things because they're matched with a personal stylist. When the organizations, let me give you this is how we operate, because people ask me all the time. And I'll definitely give you opportunity to ask questions at the end if you need to. But organizations enroll with us. That's how we validate the need. When we started, it was just a couple. Now we have over 30 organizations, including the Polk County School Board and the Department of Corrections through their First Steps program, PACE, Girls Inc., Teen Challenge, Heartland for Children, Parker Street Ministries. You might know of some that are probably already enrolled with us. If you find out there's one that you aren't sure of, please talk to me afterwards, because we want to make sure that we're connecting with these organizations so that their girls have the resources that we're offering. But once they enroll with us, they can bring small groups, individuals, or large groups into our boutiques. We have one in Lakeland, now one in Bartow, and one in Winter Haven. And they're matched with a personal stylist. They're styled in the clothes and take it for free. Like the Salvation Army, we do sell to the public as well. I did not start to sell. That was never the intent. But it has been a way to help fund our full-time charitable efforts. And it's a way to connect with the community that has just blown my mind. I mean, I just love the feedback from the women and the men who come in with the women, like the husbands who sit on the chairs that we provide and look around and let the women in their life shop. I mean, we have had such support from men and women with the work that we're doing. But it's great because we get to share the mission with everybody. Every time they come in the door, our girls have a script, and they're not like they're not just spitting it out verbatim. They're sharing from their heart. But it's beautiful because they're able to share the mission that we're not a store. We are a nonprofit. That's why we started, to be a resource for young women in this community, to build them up from the inside to the outside, to provide them with resources to present their best self, to help them with their future employer, so that when they go in, they've already done the research. They know what their employer is going to expect as far as the way they're dressed. I mean, if they go interview at Lakeland Regional, they got to have closed-toed pair of shoes. They need to know that they need to ask that question beforehand. So the educational piece is also very important. So they do come in, they're matched with a personal stylist, they're styled in the clothes, and they take it for free. We're talking to them about contextual modesty. Modesty is different for everybody. And it would be very difficult for us to try to define that for everyone when they come in, and they'd hate us for it. They would want to vomit. So we're trying to help these teenagers swallow the message that we're giving them and truly, baby steps. We want them to receive it. So we're talking to them about what is appropriate for the setting. There are settings where you can have more self-expression. There are settings where you can express your personality. There are job environments where you will have more opportunity for self-expression. But talking about the goal of school is education. The goal of the office is furthering that business goals and efforts in the community there. So we want them to feel good about themselves and what they can contribute to the whole. There's such a selfish mentality it just spreads. And I think COVID just fueled it because we had so much time to just think about ourselves all the time. And there was nobody around us like putting us in check. And these young people have just lost vision for their life. And it's very disturbing when I talk to them that, they don't even know if they want to go to college now because they've just had so much time to just sit at home in their PJs. And what you put on, and this is one of the messages that we teach them, it impacts the way that you perform. So if you're at school in your PJs every day, you're going to be more relaxed. You're not going to be paying attention. You're not going to be as sharp. Just like if you go to work and you're in relaxed clothing and sloppy and wrinkly and inappropriate in whatever way, you're not going to be dialed in. You're not sending the right messages. We talk a lot about messages. The girls, we have lots of different educational presentations that we provide for them as well, in conference style settings where we'll have 150 girls pre-COVID. And now we're starting to get back to that place where they will come and they will sit. We'll do a fun fashion show. We do fancy lunches for them. I love it. I mean, we have to do, fundraising events as well where we put events like this together. But my favorite thing is to put events like this together for these girls that aren't necessarily getting the opportunity to sit at a fancy table and say, you are worthy, but you're going to have to work for it. And one day you're not going to be the one receiving, you are going to be the one giving. And we want to help them along with the organizations who are bringing them and who are working with them every day. We want to help these girls get to that place where they're giving rather than just receiving, and just really challenge them. And so it has been really an honor, a lot of work, a lot of times where I get overwhelmed and I go, okay, I have no idea how we're going to accomplish this goal. And then God will bring the right person at the right time to fill a specific need that I could not fill on my own, which has reminded me we're on the right track. Stay the course. One thing that people, they're like, how do you do it all? I'm like, first of all, I don't do it all. We have a really awesome team. But second, one of the things about me, and I think I learned this from my grandfather in water sports, growing up, was stick-to-itiveness. I just don't give up. And there have been obstacles, including 2020, where we're thinking we do have donors who give, we do have grants that we receive, and I'm very thankful for that. But the boutiques with selling, we have the one downtown on Kentucky Avenue. How many of you have been there to that or have seen it? Yay! We love it down there. It's so great. But we really are thankful for the reoccurring revenue that we have coming in through that. And when COVID hit, not only can we not hold fundraising events and donor giving goes down, we all know this because everybody is scared. And I mean, it's understandable. Now the shops are closing and we're, yes, for-profit, nonprofit, everybody's impacted. So, this is not me saying poor Top Buttons. It was poor everybody. We're all at a loss. But it was very devastating to see our revenue go down like, 75%, and that's modest. I mean, and then we're going, okay, how do we make it through this? And I remember I was on several business threads listening and watching to other people, what are they doing during this time? How are they making it through? What creative ideas are they trying to come up with? What online resources, what grants are available through the government? And I remember there were several people that were positive, which we all want to be positive, right? They're like, this is going to be quick. We're going to make it through this real quick. I'm not applying for those grants. And I'm just thinking, what do we do? And through prayer and I'm like, I don't have the luxury, and I know a lot of people don't, of waiting because we just don't know. And I'm like, stick-to-itiveness, we're not going to go under, by gosh. So, we did apply for grants. We did receive grants, and I'm very thankful for that. I also went to donors and said, would you be willing to allow us to use the restricted funds for the programs for operational? And man, the donors were super gracious because they understood there's going to be no program if we don't survive. And so we had donors that allowed us to use that restricted funds for operational. Additionally, we started doing online selling. One of the things that we love the most about Top Buttons is our connection with people on a day-to-day basis through the shop. So when we lost that, out of sight, out of mind, people are so focused on their own family and their own business. We wanted to still have a presence. So even though we didn't make any money, it was still good to be able to put items online and remind people that we're still trying to make it as well, that all nonprofits are impacted, including Top Buttons. Please don't forget about us. And people weren't buying clothes. Who wants to buy clothes when they're at home, right? So the people that had skincare and hygiene and things like that did really well because people are now washing their face a whole lot more because they're staring at it in the mirror and going, oh, wrinkle. They're getting pulls, put in and doing home stuff because we're staring at our environment 24/7. But Top Buttons really had a hard time. Nobody wants thrift clothing to buy because we're thinking of germs and COVID and things. So we had people dropping off clothes like 24/7, which was awesome, but nobody's buying it because they don't want to come in and they don't want recycled clothing. So we have to get, okay, what are we doing to make, we're always cleaning the clothes. We steam everything. We're like, okay, we're adding a second steam. When people try on, we're steaming. This was once we reopened. But it was a very difficult time, especially with, wanting to hold on to our team and not see people leave. We struggled with serving our groups. A lot of the groups were not allowing their girls to go outside or anyone to come in. So we decided to apply for a grant through GiveWell so that we could provide personal hygiene products, which we offer on a regular basis, but more a substantial way for these organizations, because rather than clothes, they needed the personal hygiene product. So we were able to do that and deliver personal hygiene because we still want to serve and see these girls, which is why we exist. So we really did our absolute best to continue serving. We serve pre-COVID and now post-COVID, getting back to this number, more than 30 young women a month with our sessions in the boutique. And then it's around the same number for our educational as well. And we want to serve one girl multiple times if at all possible. But the nature of these programs, the girls are in and out depending on what type of program, if it's live-in or whether it's a seasonal type thing. But, you know, just like Kids Pack feeds, that's what they do, right? They feed, I don't even know. Does anybody know the number of Kids Pack? I mean, it's thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands probably over the course of years, kids food. We are not trying to replace the after school program. We want to touch as many girls in this community with our message and with these clothing and beauty and personal hygiene resources as possible. And we're able to do that through the partnerships with the organizations who are enrolled with us. One of the really great new additions to Top Buttons, and in addition to the boutiques that we have, we wanted to be able to provide undergarments. So we also buy new undergarments for them. It's a huge need. You might not think it would be, but it is a huge need for these young women. And they're so shocked, and they're appropriate, just very good quality undergarments for them that Soma actually allows. It's a national company based in Fort Myers. Great company, allows us to buy them at wholesale price to give to the girls. We do not sell those. Another addition to our organization that I really put an emphasis on during COVID was the fundraising campaign for our mobile boutique. And now it's in operation so that we can transport. We can't transport the whole thrift store because that's a lot, and we would not be able to find enough items for the girls from head to toe. But we can take a select, like say prom dresses to them, or, you know, professional attire is what we're focusing on. So we're calling it our job readiness delivery project. And so West Area Adult School and East Area and the other programs that have those groups of girls that are, you know, finishing up, getting their GED, about to go to college or leave college, enter their career, they're going to technical schools. They need that job interview attire. And I have heard from girls before, and they feel terrible about it. They've done all this prep. Somebody's helped them get a job interview, and then they bail on the interview. Why? Nothing to wear. And it's sad because it so affects their self-esteem and their self-confidence. And it's something so simple. So we give them a budget where they can shop when they come to the boutiques, and it's $75, and they can get a lot for that. But they don't want to buy the professional attire with their budget. We just give that to them because we want them to have it. Every young woman needs to have it. Even our middle school girls, like, they're not too young to hear this. Like, there is an expectation for the workplace. You know, we want them getting this message now. They may be going to a luncheon, they may be going to some sort of event. So we have like just a A-line dress that fits every shape, every height, different colors, with a blazer, and they pick their blazer, different colors as well, and a closed-toed black shoe. They get the undergarments with that, and then we let them accessorize with the thrift accessories that are and the girls love it. And so this is in our boutique, and it's super cute. I don't know if I have a picture on I know Amanda's moving stuff around. On our Facebook page, our Instagram, and I believe on our website, but I can share it with you. Our mobile boutique is just it's a trailer that we've made it look like it's a little miniature Top Buttons. It has a dressing room, air condition, lighting, and the professional attire, and then we're transporting and doing the education on site. And so that has been very well received, but we're still trying to get into these programs. We have relationships with them, but it's just the environment to serve is different than what it was. So if you think about it, be praying for us about that, because we're trying to get as innovative and creative as we can to make it easy and safe for these programs, because the girls want the resources that we have to offer. They feel encouraged by the message that we're presenting. I had one girl come to us. She had just been, and this is pre-COVID, but she had been in jail for some time, and she had a background of drug addiction, physical abuse. Just her life was in shambles. She had a transformation while in prison. When she was released, she came to us, and she came to us in her prison clothes, undergarments and all, nothing exceptional. Very, very sad. And we provided her with the attire that she needed to present her best self on the job and in everyday life. And we role played with her job interview that she was going up the road to have a job interview right up Kentucky Avenue. And she came back to us a couple weeks later, so excited, had the job. She had the job for a couple years. These girls, they're up and down. They win some, they lose some. We're all like that as well, but especially the girls that have this life of pain and of heartache, and some choices are out of their control. A lot of choices they make that are not good for their life. But she was on a path of doing better. She was on a path of becoming a better version of herself. And she was seeing it more and more each time. And when she did mess up, she came back to the ones that were there to support her rather than those that gave her drugs to take her down. And that was a good catalyst, a good change to see in her, that she's no longer going to them. She's coming to us, not for handouts, but to give us updates, to have an encouraging word, to ask for wisdom. And she's still doing okay. She doesn't have the same job. She has a different one, but she still checks in with us. And Top Buttons was a small part of her journey. We are not trying to take credit for her full life transformation, but to see that she is still out of prison, that she has a young person now, a toddler that she's taking care of herself, actually infant, not quite toddler yet. That is what we want to see. Baby steps in the right direction, seeing God work and seeing people join together as a community to support and build up and not tear down. And I love it. I love that we get to be a small part of these young women, their journey to doing better and living a better life. And ultimately, that affects our workplace, it affects our communities, and it affects our family. And so if you have any questions as far as what we're doing and how we operate, we have a fantastic board of directors. I just feel very thankful that we, even with COVID, that we are where we are today. We are still in the black. We are still working hard to fill our program missional objectives and adapt to this changing environment so that we can, for the long haul, be a positive resource for young women. Thank you.
Any questions for Sarah here? At a time, please. You can donate clothing to the Rotary Cares a Ton.
I love that you asked that. We absolutely do. We have, yes, we do. She asked, do we do anything for hair and makeup? And I don't know why I forgot to mention that. Downtown on Kentucky Avenue, we're right next to the Strand. So they gave us a chair. And when the girl, they also have, so we have the styling services and free clothing, but then they go around to the Strand and they get their hair and makeup done. We talk to them about products to use, styling tips and tools. We provide them with haircuts if they want it. Some girls don't want that because they've just got their hair done. They don't want it redone. And so, whatever we can do to help them with their hair and makeup. Then we also do professional photo shoots. That sounds kind of funny, but it's more than glamour shots and free clothes. We want them to have healthy visual content for their resumes and their social media so they can get right, healthy kind of attention to reinforce the right things in their life. We in Winter Haven, it's like our most beautiful, I love our Lakeland. Each location is unique and special, but our Winter Haven location is our largest. It's right downtown on Central Avenue. And in the back is a salon. So we have our own salon back there. And we are able to bring girls in and serve them without, having to be dependent on somebody else. But we're really thankful for our relationship with the Strand. That's remarkable. That young men, there is a organization or a group that supports young men with having proper attire and helping them get ready for interviews and that kind of thing as well. Gentlemen's Institute. That's fantastic. I would love to connect with you on that. We are often asked to do things for the school system. And one of the reasons why we're limited is because we only offer things for girls at this time. And so when we do things with the school system, we need to partner with another organization that serves men so that we can offer the resources for both. So I'd love to connect with you on that. Yes, ma'am. I really appreciate that information. One of the hardest parts about like getting grant, and getting qualifying for grants is just knowing that they exist and knowing other programs that we can collaborate with and support each other. So I need to connect with you, it looks like. Okay. Got it. I love that. We want to engage these youth. They want you to talk to them about the things that are affecting them, not just say A plus B equals C. That it's not that we can't also incorporate that, but to really just talk about lots of topics and what's affecting them and how we can help them rather than just say, don't do this. I like that. It's really great. Thank you. You can bring in clothing donations to any location at any time. We're open. They don't have to be on hangers or in bags. I mean, we'll come to your car and help you if you call us or text us and let us know that you're coming. So thank you so much for this opportunity, and catch me if you have any more questions.
Just want to check online real quick. Amanda, do we have any questions? Amanda's voice is. Thank you for your comments, Mayor. Much appreciated. So, Sarah, it's very obvious that you're passionate about what you do, and we love hearing people. We love hearing people come talk to us that have that kind of passion, that really love what they do. So, please accept this book as a token of our appreciation.
Appreciate that.
Thank you for being with us. We appreciate you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to rush out.
Okay. Wow, how refreshing. Jack's got the list. This time I'd like to thank our guests and visiting Rotarians. John, buy your own lunch next time, okay? Doug, Andrew, Al, you're probably gonna be buying your own lunch too next time. Jeff and Greg, thank you all for joining us. We certainly appreciate having you. Our weekly quote: she is clothed in strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. That's an anonymous quote that I was able to dig up. I thought that was appropriate. Next week's meeting is Zoom only. Unfortunately, we are still trying to get back into the church. We think we might be able to make it in June, hoping for June. So stay tuned in with that. We want to get more members because we're trying to get these bylaw changes put into effect for Nate's year to kick off. So he didn't have to do anything extraordinary. It's all happening on my watch. All right. So next week's meeting is Zoom only. Absent any protest to the contrary, we're going to call this meeting adjourned. Thank you all. Have a great week.